repeat ganks on them early on before the 5-on-5 battle lines get set up.
As we enter the game, it is important to highlight, too, on the side of EDG. There's a lot of raw power, but reliable engage tools pretty much exclusively in the jungle. Fiora not packing a lot of hard CC. Thresh Hook, not the most reliable if it's not secondary or follow-up CC. So Fnatic a lot more tools to kick fights off, but can they get to those stages? The big question on my mind, because Flandre looked scary last game. Gragas body slam, does not feel good in a Fiora lane.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to have to see a cleanse on upset. There we go, cleanse on upset. With the Sejuani jungle, with the Thresh. Mako doing magical things on that Thresh previously. Here we go. Fnatic fighting for their lives.
Before we get any level 1 action, don't forget to link your league account with Prime Gaming. Receive some free digital goodies, some in-game content. Crowd alive here in New York. A lot of LPL fans out today. Fnatic fans fighting back, and this time, the sigh of relief. It was a multi-step process, Fnatic fans. Step 1, ban Yuumi. Step 2, don't die at level 1. So far, so good.
Yeah, careful with the invades there last time around. The red buff invade definitely turning all the way back around on them. Looks like it will be completed on that step. As they retake as well, switch over to the sweeper for Razork, but if you go back and you switch it there for the jungle, it won't be back up in time to clear it before your buff spawns. And so control ward back behind the red buff there for Razork, for Fnatic, playing it very safe here. Raptor start.
Track the early jungle pathing, and early lane match is also a big question. We've seen Victor Akali relatively quiet till level 6 starts to come through. Humanoid going to build whatever advantage he can while he has the range advantage, while there's not that threat of the all-in. Top side, very interesting. We saw Flandre is the Gragas top in the LPL, and probably the Gragas top in the world outside of the only other Gragas top, who's basically Wonder. So I'm really curious to see how Flandre navigates this matchup, because it should not catch him off guard in any way.
Yeah, I was definitely going to look for some big Wonder plays here on this champ, since he's been so comfortable with it. Early on, too, he's getting the push against Fiora on the top side, and pointing out Razork jungle path here avoids completely that ward on our red buff, and it looks to just clear up towards blue quadrant right now. See if it will ping right down back to the other side. They do have a bit of a miss on their guess, though, for the red buff. Maybe thinking, okay, Sejuani started red, down to this bottom side already, pushing in on bottom lane here. Should be able to trade on the scuttles.
Yep, and for now, Fnatic botling getting pushed in a little bit. Thresh, obviously, much easier time contesting the wave early on. Jinx a bit of extra range advantage, partially matched by the caliber, but not quite 100%. JJ moving in, getting a little additional vision, has now been spotted on the ward. Humanoid knows it is time to back up, playing towards the top side of the lane, but no greater advantages, no crazy ganks quite yet. Razork about half health as he returns to the bottom side jungle.
Yeah, and the extra time there, Razork going to be a camp up here on JJ as he clears out the ward in the line brush, but does not know that the extra control ward was purchased and put over there behind the back of the red buff. Afforded to Razork because, of course, he has foregone the refillable potion. Poppy definitely easy time clearing, so no problem doing that.
Definitely the case. Wonder, meanwhile, keeping the pressure up on the top side. Cask makes it so early on. Fiora lacks really any substantial wave clear unless she can just bully you off the wave, deny your access to it.
Good respect here from Viper and Mako, backing off as the aggressive posturing from Hylissang. Oh, Hilly walks in, gets hooked.
Flirting with disaster, but they've got the snare follow-up for Mako. They're gonna get the double snare as well. Upset just trading back. Razork in the area, but cannot fully commit here. Lantern out and taken. Fnatic gonna be able to crash this wave, forcing EDG to stay in lane for at least a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think they clear this one out while Sejuani clears up towards the top of the side. Humanoid as well, fresh trinket ward here to see the other side, so really good attention to mid lane warding so far for Fnatic. Again, Humanoid, fresh ward here, sees JJ, go for the top scuttle crab. They've been able to track the Sejuani so well.
Really, really crucial early on. The synergy, of course, with Sejuani in these melee lanes is so incredibly difficult to deal with if she can ever get on top of you, but so far denied. Razork now coming in, seemingly just to help make sure they can knock this wave in. If they want to go for the dive, it would be risky, but they do want it. Now the Ignite already ticking down. Viper taking so much damage, but they're already gonna get first blood. Can they get one back in return? So far, just a 1-for-1 first blood in favor of EDG, but ultimately losing so much CS as the wave crashes into tower.
Oof, that was a good play there from Mako, allowing them to get the kill. JJ, though, is on the attack. Humanoid
Not backing up, has now been locked up. 1, 2 on the stacks. Now looking for 3, 4, the stun, the gravity field there, and it is not enough. Scout finding the kill.
And the patience there. JJ goes in, Q flashes onto Humanoid to make sure that they get that Arctic Assault onto him. And once he has that, he saves the W for Humanoid's flash. So once Humanoid does flash, he's already got the slow there for Scout to set him up for the E. Scout holds his shuriken until he's sure he can hit it. Really good setup there from JJ on that gank. It's so hard. You were just talking about it, Dracos. The setup there with the Sejuani and the melee. So Razor's gonna pop over and find the ward.
Just going to delay the back launcher a little bit here, but this has been a bit difficult for Fnatic. The one play that they initiate on the bottom side, we can see here, just about even at the end of the day, taking into account the first blood.
Yeah. So good hook there initially onto Viper. Then the Flay gets him some distance, and it makes that sure that it's going to be a 1-for-1. The first blood is achieved by EDG, but it did go down to Mako, him getting the last hit there. So
that is a good point.
At least that money going over to the Thresh, one of the champs that can least utilize it. And this is what I'm talking about. Because he goes with the Arctic Assault flash there, guaranteeing he gets the knock-up and follow-up slow there for the W after Humanoid's flash. It guarantees the setup for Scout. And now Scout has ultimate as well.
Playing with confidence here, has to back out of the gravity field. Humanoid now walking back. Razork in the area, but won't be able to get a lot else done. Imran surviving that first all-in, but a pretty explosive mid lane now. Razork waiting in the area. Hex Flash being channeled, ready to go in. Scout now knocked back, knocked out of his own Shroud. Cannot leap back to safety with the shuriken flip, but will not need to do so.
I think it's a really good window for Fnatic to survive there. I was very worried for Humanoid after having no flash and Scout just achieving level 6 there for the ult. But him trading ults and damage positive trade onto Scout, very good for the Victor. Should allow him to finish up with some more farming. JJ though.
JJ stepping forward. Hylissang going to get the hook out to safety. That's going to be big. The root now responding. Razork coming in as well. Upset, red-white, ready to fight, will lock up Mako, that's gonna be big. Good damage now coming in, JJ trying to turn and burn the lockup, the stun coming in, Upset, cleansing out to safety, he can do so much damage if he's given time to trade, but he will not be given any time whatsoever. EDG pushing in, taking another kill back.
Oh, it's the aggressive move from Fnatic, turned around again. They even expanded the control ward on the Lantern to try and block JJ from taking it. But EDG get out, they defend it 3v3, they turn around with another kill.
And right now, EDG fans calling for more fuel for the fire, and you can see why JJ waits so patiently. And Fnatic, they think they can turn this back after Hylissang gets out.
Yeah, they even, there it is. They try and control where the Lantern, but JJ had already clicked on it, so he's out. And then Razork jumps in. As soon as they get the hook onto Mako, he flashes out, and they've got these Sejuani stuns, stacking them up so quickly. Mako hits another death sentence, forcing the cleanse, so Upset knows he's gonna have to flash out of there and back to mid.
Hylissang, 1v1ing enemy mid laner as expected, I suppose, from Hylissang. Has roamed up to mid lane, does generate a little bit more pressure, but you can see Fnatic trying to up the pace a little bit, trying to get something else on the map.
EDG are just warmed up and just firing on all cylinders here. Mako on the Thresh again, being able to make so many plays for this squad, and JJ making a lot of moves on Sejuani early on to try and get these lanes in a positive state.
And credit to him for getting so much done before he even had access to the ultimate. The ganks and the setup gets so much easier now. Difficult early on for Upset and Hylissang. You can see the idea in their head. If they can build a lead, if they can force plays on the bottom side, they can get so much work done. Good news is, they've moved up, they've rotated first. Gragas already on the bottom side, so they do have first access to the Herald, but EDG not going to give this one up without a fight. Upset good guns for the fight overall, or would have had them, but runs out of ammo on the white gun right as things kick off.
Wonder cannot join here, so I think Fnatic have to let it fully leash. Cannot commit to this one. Wonder on bottom side is going to push a wave in though, so you can see Wonder does get the extra wave into the tower, and now is starting to roam up through the river, but it's at 3-can dropping very quickly.
This is such a difficult position for Fnatic. Would have loved to have been able to take that one away. Losing the blue buff as well. A little frustration, Poppy all now channeled. And this is the struggle of this game, Kobe's. I feel like Fnatic are getting little things like a wave bot lane, like a kill for a kill trade on bottom lane. But every time EDG gets something, I feel like they get it for free.
And that blue buff was just like delivered. He called him up, Grubhub, please, one blue buff as well to go with the Rift Herald. It's actually so big for Fiora too, because early on, Fiora does have mana problems. You know, and now Flandre could just spam in lane. is going to be role swapped here, though, and we're going to get the bottom lane from EDG rotating down to the bottom side, too. What about this red buff?
Okay, this time he's taking it for himself. This is his meal break, but uh-oh. Not delivering anything this time around. Will flash out to safety. The traps will not connect, but EDG, 4 members on the bottom side to the 2 of Fnatic. Hylissang upset, speeding down to try and match, but EDG holding on to the 1K gold lead, 2-kill advantage. They got the Herald to their name as well. Difficult early game for Fnatic thus far.
Ooh, yes. Defending world champs looking pretty good today here. Woke up, chose violence, chose some aggressive solo lanes.
Yeah, as opposed to all the other days where they're just like, yeah, today no. Today we're pacifist League of Legends players. We'll go for the 0-0. The 2015 LCK special, just absolute macro.
The only question now is where will the violence occur next? And I think bottom lane, upset here, the one without flash on that Aphelios, as we talked about from Champ Select, you know, they're going to continue to look for either of these 2 carries, whether it's Victor or Aphelios. The one without flash is going to constantly receive ganks. JJ, though, hovering around mid, and he calls over Mako for the jungle support move.
We saw this exact move against Jensen. Of course, it was a Maokai jungle previously, but the setup's so simple when Sejuani can kick things off. The follow-up from Fresh, difficult to deal with. The Razor covering, waiting in the area. Could have a 3v3 around the mid lane, but Hylissang can't really afford to step forward. Has the Glacial, which is so crucial in fights, but makes him so individually squishy here. They can just go for the commit. Spider Knot his way out to safety for now. EDG not willing to commit any greater cooldowns.
Yeah, pretty good battle ward status there for Hilly. He knows upset is the target. Everybody's coming for my Aphelios, so he goes out, he gets some vision. He uses his anchor to be able to get himself out as well, but they're sticking around for EDG. They're committing to this. The flash is coming up so soon for upset.
It's Razork. JJ waiting in the jungle immediately and trying to get the fight kicked off. A lot of burst damage is going on to Hylissang. He's so squishy. The Jigsaw now comes out. He can't even get another passive down. 3-man knockup. The follow-up coming in. Infernum not doing nearly enough damage. EDG.
It's a double for Sejuani. It's the killer pig. The Poro Riders getting rich, Daniel.
And again, the Gyro calls come out. There is so much fuel for the EDG fire right now, and I feel like all Fnatic are is tinder for the flame. They're just getting burned in the spot lane every time they force a gank. A 3v3.
Sejuani right at the top, where she should be. Holy moly, JJ getting rewarded. Up 20 CS, 3 kills in the jungle. Just dominating on this champ. And it's not even just playing off the melee lanes. A lot of it is off this bottom side. And retaining positioning here on the control ward, the patience, and then all he does, he blocks Razork. As Hilly goes in, it's just a flay in from Mako with the Ignite on. Viper's able to burst him down, and EDG, again, defend the 3v3 bottom, turning up in a ton of extra gold.
And credit to JJ, because he's just always there to stop the Fnatic play. One time he tries to make the play himself, he backs off. It's Fnatic again who initiate. This time again, Fnatic kicking the fight off, and I feel like Upset and Hylissang have the idea of the perfect play in their heads, but the burst damage coming out from Viper, even on a single item, the combination of the Thresh, all of his skill rotation, plus the Jinx, is just killing Hylissang before he can get anything done in the fight.
Yeah. Great stuff for JJ. Playing for the lanes, but actually getting all the kills himself.
That is the jungler dream, where your laners can't really fault you because you're there every 30 seconds, but also you're stealing all the kills.
All right, that should mean EDG playing off their bottom side control that they've gotten with 2 successive counterplay down there. Should be #1 for themselves. Also pushing out mid lane there for Scout. He teleported right back. Able to get 1 extra one into lane. And again, he's got his ultimate ready. Approaching level 11 for the rank 2. To try and, again, look for the squishier side lane to get the kill.
Wouldn't surprise me if he tries to hold it till he has rank 2 for the reduced cooldown, as now we see EDG again collapsing. Upset good guns for a fight in an extended exchange, but the Lantern comes out, stops any follow-up. Or are they gonna overcommit to Hylissang? Upset good ult, but it does not matter. EDG cutting down members of Fnatic left and right. Razork running out, has the 10-pass presence, but Scout's not done yet. He doesn't want to wait for that level 11. Trying to finish it. There it goes. The blast cone brings it back. The knockup coming in as well. Oh, they desperately need something back here. Ulti going to be blocked. Razork flashing out to safety. At least one member will walk away. Humanoid off to the side. Upset, they need to turn. They need to get something back for this. EDG burning so many summoners. Overextending just a bit, but they will not lose anyone on the escape.
Oh my goodness, the bottom lane bloodbath down here, and it's also littered with wards. These grave Graves over and over and over again. Here we go, though. Bottom tower was taken before all that action, and the extra kill, now 4 for JJ, but a little bit of defense there for Fnatic, chasing them out, not giving over the extra kill. It's so scary, though. Being around the tower as it goes down, look at Viper. Gets excited on the Jinx as Hilly hooks into the wall, and then it's an easy answer. JJ, he hits him with the Sejuani ultimate into the Mako hook. It's that chain of CC. This Nautilus is not tanky. And with Viper already excited on the passive, they burn him through. Then the chase over here is a little exciting. Nice little dodge there on the Q. Yeah. But nobody ends up actually going down. It's just a bunch of flashes that are burned.
And now, looking at this again holistically, 3K gold lead for EDG, massive kill lead. They are in complete control of the game. And remember, as much fun as we're having, as much as we're talking about Deliveroo, Razork with the blue buffs, this is an elimination game for Fnatic. This is do or die. Massive deficit. It means I feel like if Fnatic are going to win this, they have to go late. They have to take this Victor scaling. They have to take this Aphelios scaling, the engage tools that they have, and find an opportunity to use them as 5, because these skirmishes are going horribly wrong every time.
Yeah, they definitely have to stop getting pulled into this fast-paced game from EDG. Allow the Victor, allow the Aphelios to farm up. We've seen what Upset can do on this champion. Even with multiple flanking solo laners coming at him, he was able to defend himself previously. But they definitely need the money to do so.
And that's easier said than earned at this stage of the game.
Therein lies the problem.
Now, finding the money, finding the farm. Difficult situation as EDG look to take their second Herald of the game uncontested. This one will not be leashed for them. Have to pick that one up 100%. Fnatic moving down to the bottom side of the map. There's no Drake to play for, but they can lay down a bit of vision. They can set up to protect Wonder as EDG will now move to respond, but it's really Fnatic dancing to the tune EDG is playing, just responding to the plays they're making on the map. Herald drop mid. Mid lane gonna fall. Fnatic gonna do what they can to protect the tier 2 and try to stop a second charge. But again, EDG just stacking up little wins left and right.
Razork over the wall.
Going in, can they put a ward on the Lantern? Can they stop this from going through? He's gonna stop the knockout on the way out, but now they don't have any more follow-up damage. Viper in trouble. Viper vulnerable, but there is no one else here to punish. And again, it's going to turn. Razork running, sprinting, trying to get out, but it will not happen. Fnatic, every single play they have tried to force this game has just turned in the favor of EDG.
Again, it's the EDG defense. Every Fnatic play, they counter, they disengage, they use the Thresh Lantern to get whoever out as the primary target, and then turn around. They do not let Fnatic escape any of their own plays that they have started, and EDG punish yet again. These problems are going to get worse because of the way the comps are set up. EDG obviously have 2 amazing split push champions, Akali and Fiora. And so as these outer towers go down, the map gets way more difficult for Fnatic to play, since they're the ones with the low mobility carries that are going to need a lot more protection to push out these waves.
Certainly the case. We take a look back at this play. You can see the force, the initial start here, so clean mechanically to deny Viper a way out, but Upset gets zoned away, and there is no damage follow-up onto Viper.
Yeah, JJ does such a good job there. You pointed out, him zoning Upset, that was all of the follow-up possible damage they could have on that Razork play. And so Upset, they force out his cleanse, they push him out of the fight, and EDG, again, 2 more. Sejuani's up to 5, Dracos. 500 gold on that pig.
That is a tasty pig, my friend. Technically, I guess a Poro in this case.
True, true. The
You're getting
giant
run
Poro.
down with the cinnamon roll.
The legendary giant Poro. Wanted posters up all around town.
Yes.
500 extra gold, please. Bring me a taste.
They need to change that skin. It's not menacing enough. That Poro needs face tats. He needs a knife. Like, that Poro will one-shot you, and it still looks adorable. I feel like that is, like, misrepresentation in terms of the skin.
All right. Mako's been able to keep every member of EDG safe thus far. Looks like that's not going to change either as the objective bounties pop up. The game knows Fnatic need a little help to get back into this one. They're going to try and push out on top side. They've got their eyes on that top side turret objective bounty, knowing, hey, we cannot fight any more fights. Please do not fight any even number fights. So they give up the dragon. They're also going to possibly give up the tier 2 on bottom side. I don't know how well Wonder can do defending against this onslaught.
Yeah, the big thing for EDG is if they want to take that tower, they really have to dive or zone Wonder away from the wave. They managed to keep 2 creeps up, so they will be able to get at least a little bit of damage, potentially shred through this tower. Don't really have the range without the Jinx in the area, but as I say it, here comes the Jinx. EDG committing 5, at least for now, to the tier 2 bot lane siege.
Flandre also does have Unleashed Teleport. I think they should just put him topside to go collect the wave.
Oh, knockback, Viper, caught out, but again, there's just no follow-up. They just cannot finish a kill. So many little moments that could be something more, but EDG relentless in their push forward. Keeping the pressure on, they break the tier 2.
Every attempt to Dracos gets swatted back down.
And it's, look, I'm an EU caster. It's hard to watch, but I will say, whoever said the best defense is a good offense has not watched EDG, because it really looks like the best defense is a good defense.
The great thing with that saying, yeah, you can just switch it around to fit your circumstances.
Multi-purpose.
Also, the best offense is a good defense. In this case, it's looking like. They've got it all covered. Razork at least gonna try and get away there. Red buff though, so many problems to deal with. You know, where do you start on the checklist? You've got to deal with this vision problem, this discrepancy, in order to get your comeback play. Scout though is gonna find Humanoid first, and they get the teleport into answer.
Instant teleport, Scout just ults back out to safety. And again, pure loss for Fnatic right now at the moment. Just getting the ult in exchange for the TP, not a good deal, because in the meantime, objective already started. Razork now speeding up, he knows. Sniffing this one out, a TP coming into mid lane. That's gonna be Humanoid, the entire team looking to collapse. Maybe, just maybe. Razork whiffing on the ult is big. 3K, it's getting lower and lower. He needs to get into the pick. Can he make the miracle seal happen? Razork! It will not happen. EDG now looking for the turn. Scout off to the side. He has no ultimate. EDG just need to retreat. They just need to get out. They do not need to fight for anything else. And so far, no one will fall. All 5 members of EDG walking away from the Baron.
And the crowd going wild. The EDG fans know if they win this game, they secure themselves a spot in quarters. They deny the possibility of the tie break that Fnatic wants so dearly.
And again, how quickly a story can change in a single day. Last week, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, the top of the group stacked. Fist fight across the board. Teams taking games off each other left and right, but today, Fnatic getting beaten down left and right. And this EDG, from what we saw in the game yesterday, showing us so much more. Flandre on Fiora, not something I ever thought I'd have to be worried about in a pick and ban. I'm concerned after watching these last 2 games. This man playing incredibly well individually. On top of that, JJ, on the Sejuani.
On the warpath.
On the war pig. Really, Black Sabbath over here. Just out here looking for a fight.
Honestly, it's really the supportive members of EDG that I think deserve so much credit today for today's success. Mako and JJ really doing all of the setup work here.
Case hook goes in. Hook not quite going to connect. They pull him back under tower. Mako now going to get cut down. Finally, Fnatic getting something in exchange. EDG a little overconfident. Wanted to go for the throat there, but Fnatic firing back.
That's actually a huge pick. During the Baron push here, this greatly weakens the split push and the rewards that EDG can get out of their Baron buff. Fnatic doing what is necessary to try and buy themselves a little bit of time. That little glimpse of hope is still alive for them. They put a stop to this push.
Holding on for now, and of course Victor sent to match the Fiora. Can't walk into the lane, but can just mostly 1 or 2 shot the wave. Next wave now coming in, but EDG know they can't commit. They've only got 55 seconds left on the Baron. They get 1, maybe 2 more waves, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to leverage it to break any more tier 2s.
Huge pick there for Fnatic to stop that push, and you know, to look at the light at the end of the tunnel. We just had the scoreboard up there for Humanoid's farm. The Victor definitely farming well, should be able to grow up into a powerhouse. You can tell him he's rushing for the minion wave. The map is very dark, so he knows he has to kill it quick and back off. They've got both Hylissang and Razork coming to try and screen for him. Since they don't quite have enough defensive wards even in their own jungle, he's able to get the wave, back right off, continue scaling that Victor and Aphelios for your dream team fight scenario.
You need that space. And the big thing is we talk so much about the facilitators on the side of EDG, and they've been having an outstanding day, but it also feels like the facilitators of Fnatic are going to have to step up in these late game fights, because if you were in an upset, can't get someone out of position. If they have to fight all these members who are going to be individually stronger for so much of this game, it's going to be nigh impossible. That CC, Wonder, Razork, Hylissang need to find the right angles to get these fights kicked off.
Yeah, and they have to turn into the best bodyguards ever. Bodyguard, Humanoid, and Upset. Try and keep Akali and flanking Fiora off of those carries so they can free fire. Scout, though, over the back of the Dragon. Fnatic bullying their way in.
Upset a little bit in no man's land at this very moment. He doesn't really have a way out of this one. He's going to have to flash back into the pit. Upset. Gale forcing out for now. Flashing backwards. Hillsang coming over the wall, but there's an Akali off to the side. Oh, they are not the best bodyguards. They cannot protect their AD carry. A single misposition. And now Fnatic are falling apart at the seams. EDG tearing through them effortlessly. Taking down Fnatic in the fight. Grabbing the Dragon. Taking every single thing that they want.
Flandre teleports in. The vision control for EDG will do it. They rip Fnatic to shreds. There's nowhere for the president to hide there. Upsets up behind the Dragon pit, and he's just flanked on all sides by solo laners. EDG, they're coming to finish the job.
Razork, last man standing. EDG for now, I guess don't feel like they can end the game on that one. They'll take a tower, they'll walk away, they'll set themselves up with Soul Point. There was hope at a 2K lead. It shrank a little bit every 1,000 after that. At 10K, it feels like it's going to take a miracle for Fnatic to come back. This is so hard. 3 items for Viper. That is one terrifying jinx.
Oh. Tries to go for the smite interrupt on the recall. Can't even get that as it times out. Here it is. Upset. Because Fnatic had lost control of their jungle so early on, they were unable to properly sweep all the wards out. So they did not know there were perfect positioning for both Scout and Flandre, the double flank up here behind the Dragon pit. And so Upset then is just completely away from the rest of the team. There's no way they can bodyguard him. They're trying to get a 2v1 on Scout on the side lane here, but that's Akali. Good luck with that one.
It's hard. They can't bodyguard. They can't be assassins. It is a hard time right now. As now the engage is coming in. War pick here. Razork going to fish for the disengage. They take 2 members out of the fight. That's an opportunity. But no one has the follow-up. No one wants to overcommit in that exchange. Yeah. Fiora already barreling down the mid lane, and this is the struggle of Fnatic. It is so hard to find a good opportunity to even take a single member of EDG down.
Oh, this EDG team is really ramping up for their game against T1 at the end of the day as well. Looking quite scary here, and also not having to show a lot of variation today. This is very similar to how they took down Cloud9.
Absolutely. Scaling matched on the bottom side. You got the Thresh again. Again, you have a jungler who is a tank who can set up these ganks. And
same exact
solo lane. So T1 are going to have to respond to this without any awareness of what else EDG could have prepared for the final match, for the final showdown in this group. Of course, EDG guaranteed top 2, but still want to fight for first seed. We know how important seeding can be as we head towards best of 5s. If, of course, EDG win this one. Fnatic holding on for dear life. They're going to have to weather the storm of another Baron. An Ocean Soul fight after that. It will be fight after fight after fight if Fnatic want to get themselves out of this deficit.
All right. Step number 1, carve out a small area on the map with Fog of War that you can try and make a surprise play. Maybe a pincer move when EDG spread the map. You know, the winning team always wants to play on multiple lanes to push out, get as much as possible with their Baron buff. They're 1-3-1 right now. Fnatic, just overload one side and send everybody at them.
Maybe find the opportunity, maybe hoping to bait someone in from the side of EDG. Hoping for the overcommittal. We saw it from Mako. One time this game he's overcommitted, and Fnatic were quick to punish, holding onto this tier 2 as long as possible. Stepping forward into JJ, but very tanky pig. Flandre now in the back of there, just killing him. Oh, it does not matter. The tower is not significant. Might as well be a cannon creep. Humanoid getting run down. EDG on the hunt. They're ready to break into the base. They're ready to knock open another inhibitor.
Killer Sejuani strikes again. That's 6 for JJ. He's going to go legendary this game.
Most impressive statistical Sejuani performance I have ever seen. 14 out of 15 KP. This man has been making everything happen on the Rift, and it could be the final hold for Fnatic. They've got Wonder, no cask to his name. Upset with an ultimate and a cleanse. Humanoid with a bit of wave clear as well. Upset still stepping forward, but the slow now coming in. Flandre zoning him away. Good guns for a fight, but EDG empowered minions coming in on the top side. Scout breaking an inhibitor on the bottom side. Surely these are the final moments of Fnatic at Worlds 2022. Tension. Holding, clearing as many waves as they can. Feels like an inevitability at this point. EDG looking for one misstep, one opportunity to go in, but Hillsang will start the fight. The hook goes in. Flandre now to the side, can't even be stopped. JJ now stepping forward. One already down. The reset's coming in. Viper knocked back, but again, not into the waiting arms of Fnatic. not enough to stop EDG from pressing forward. EDG tearing through Fnatic, knocking them out of the group, locking themselves in the quarterfinals.